Well, let's get started, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to our K-DTX369 program launch. We are incredibly excited about this new wellness initiative, and we can't wait to share more. To walk you through the evening, to walk you through everything, rather, we've brought together an impressive lineup of experts and leaders, including Dr. Stuart Titus, Jeff and Debbie Lassard, Melissa Temple Agosta, and Valerie Aloisio. Now, to get us started tonight, I'm thrilled to introduce Valerie Aloisio. Valerie, we're so glad you're leading the way for us. Please take it away.
Thank you so much. If you want to pull up the presentation so we can see it, that would be awesome. Welcome, everyone, to our April 1st kickoff. I am thrilled to be with you. My husband and I, as founding members over 11 years ago, we said yes to this gentleman right here that you see, Dr. Stuart Titus, and we were going to launch the cannabinoid revolution. And none of us knew what we were really getting into, but we knew that there was, science and validity. And of course, we trusted our guest speaker this evening. So we said yes. And that journey began 11 years ago. And I have to tell you, we've had some great initiatives and so much success all over the world during this time. And as we're starting now, coming into over our 11th year, changing the world with hemp and cannabinoids, we have now a great new initiative that we want to share with you this evening that is backed by science. So let's advance some of these slides because, our collective wellness is being compromised by two pervasive and fundamental challenges that we have today in our world: the high level of obesity and the metabolic crisis. Very, very real initiative. So what is the metabolic crisis? Well, it's a serious health condition that occurs when there's low blood sugar and a buildup of toxin. This graph says it all. As our colleague, who you're going to hear from soon, Jeff, says, it's all the sludge that has been built up by all the toxins, all the pollutants, the microplastics, and you name it, that have been infiltrated into our bodies on the food we're eating, the water we're drinking, and you name it, all right? And if untreated, this can lead to severe complications such as seizures, coma, and even death. But this metabolic crisis is being projected to have an enormous global economic impact, with costs associated with overweight and obesity alone, not to mention everything else, expected to exceed $4 trillion by the year 2035, guys. This is like less than 10 years away. So, we've heard about those risk factors, cardiovascular disease, obesity, an increase in calories, a decrease in activity. This world has become very sedentary, not out there playing ball like, the kids used to. They're on their computers and on their phones and you name it. People are having trouble sleeping. Anxiety and stress is through the roof. Diabetes is leading like the way when it comes to serious disorders, even amongst young people. So this is not normal. And if we see the next slide, we're going to see this. This is by, the CDC and the PubMed.gov, metabolic crisis by the numbers. And you can see this right here, where there's all this increase over the last 10, 20 years in our society. And I want you to just look at that bottom level, okay? 300% more diabetes in the last 10 years, 250% increase in epilepsy, 83% increase from deaths by Alzheimer's. I don't know about you guys, but my grandparents, I remember being with them and there was no such thing back then. And if there was, it wasn't as pervasive as it is today. But look at this stunning exorbitant number of increase in autism, over 4,200%. And again, CDC is putting out these numbers. So, there's some serious questions we have here. What can we do to reduce the effects caused by these metabolic risk factors? Can a detox program using hemp and wellness products provide a potential solution? Well, we know the answer, and you're going to know it too very soon. What does the science say about all this? The science behind you, mind you, okay? Next slide. Well, we have our very special guest speaker, our Kannaway founder, Dr. Stuart Titus. He's an international, world renowned cannabis expert, a true industry pioneer. He's been leading with innovation and education leadership throughout the world when it comes to hemp and well being. We are regulatory global champions. We have set the standard for the highest quality in the world when it comes to cannabinoids. And as a company, we're established in over 40 countries. So, a little bit about Dr. Titus' career highlights. Here he is, and you're going to see him live soon. But from 91 to 2011, he was a clinical physiotherapist with practices in Greenville, South Carolina, and North Carolina, and Sarasota, Florida, where I am coming to you now live. He was the founder of General Hemp, a private equity firm that started this whole, realm of changing laws all around in the United States and then around the world so that we can bring cannabinoids to the world. In 2014, he started 2 pharma companies involved in cannabinoid research. He became in 2015 the CEO of Medical Marijuana Inc., our parent company. In 2017, he testified at the World Health Organization conference in Geneva, Switzerland on CBD. He testified at the US FDA inquiry on the CBD craze. I personally was with him along with my husband and some others on the call today in Japan when he spoke to the ministers of health on bringing cannabinoids to the country of Japan. So, guys, this is like no laughing matter here. This is super serious. He has a career and legacy of producing the only CBD products that are listed in the prescriber's digital reference manual used by doctors and medical professionals within the United States. So we are so thankful that Dr. Titus is with us tonight to share the science regarding the metabolic crisis and CBD. We have a nice presentation, probably over the next 25 minutes or so, that he will take us through the science. And don't worry, this is being recorded, so we'll be able to get this information to you. But in the meantime, welcome, Dr. Titus. We're so thrilled that you're here.
Well, Valerie, thank you so very much for the wonderful introduction. And ladies and gentlemen, it's fantastic to be with the Kannaway family again. It's been a great year so far for me, and definitely look forward to much greatness here. I have to say, everyone who's on the webinar tonight, I've seen some amazing changes in individuals. They look absolutely fantastic, and gosh, it's just so exciting. I have to say, boy, my heart almost stopped beating for a minute. I saw the space launch today, the Artemis 2, for those of you, back in 1969, I remember the man on the moon, and now the U.S. is going back to the moon with this amazing project. Certainly, the launch today was incredible from Cape Canaveral down in Florida. And our presentation today, certainly botanical CBD to achieve homeostasis. Our part 2, Kannaway CBD and oxidative stress. And our part 3, Kannaway CBD benefits. When the body is in homeostasis, it will respond functioning optimally without external reliance. And let's go ahead and get started. I may run through some of these slides fairly quickly, but for those of you who want to get the full presentation, it's certainly outlined very nicely here. So botanical CBD and homeostasis, the great benefits of detoxification. And just to name a few real quickly, body balance, reduced inflammation, great liver support, better sleep, stress regulation, and again, digestive support, antioxidant protection. CBD helps protect cells from oxidative stress, immune balance, metabolic wellness for sure. CBD helps regulate appetite, etc., and balance blood sugar levels. CBD will help you support recovery, especially from excessive physical activity, give you mental clarity, and certainly brain health. CBD provides neuroprotective support for long-term cognitive wellness. The great benefits of detoxification, certainly one can ease into homeostasis. Of course, a body with reduced toxic load can much more easily maintain homeostasis. Certainly the natural detoxification organs, the liver, kidneys, gut, can function without issue. And certainly the body's natural detox systems itself. The body is constantly detoxifying itself through the liver, of course, it filters blood, kidneys will excrete waste, the gut removes toxins, and certainly detoxification is a continuous process not a state that can be switched on and off by short-term reliance on things such as special teas, et cetera. Taking CBD daily to maintain consistent blood levels will support inflammation reduction, oxidative stress issues, certainly internal organ function, and the endocannabinoid system for systemic wellness. So the human body, of course, has tremendous detox pathways: the blood, liver, colon, kidneys, lungs, lymph system, as well as skin. And these are all designed to achieve that great balance within us, homeostasis. So botanical CBD by Kannaway will help detoxify the human liver. And this is a great study that we were involved with back in 2021. The highlights of this clinical study reports preliminary results to the US FDA. Investigators report to the FDA no evidence of liver toxicity in the 839 adults consuming oral CBD, and this is botanical CBD. Kannaway was a nice participant here, and after 7 months of clinical investigation, the Valid Care Group announced their results. Certainly this study was commissioned and designed in response to the US FDA's requests, including the agency's March 5th, 2020 report to Congress for science-based data regarding hemp-based CBD, and we were proud participants of this study. Now, here, the safety of use of botanical CBD was shown because the study's investigators were super surprised to find out that almost 70% of the study participants, and of course, most people taking CBD are health and wellness aficionados, but about 70% of the participants reported having a medical condition and taking pharmaceutical medications for those conditions without any increase in reporting of adverse effects. So when they got on CBD, there weren't any adverse effects like could be expected with additional pharmaceutical medication. Now, studies of similar patient populations would demonstrate that when they add a pharmaceutical medication, the researchers would expect an 11% elevation in toxic liver enzyme tests. While this particular research with botanical CBD actually described a 9% decline in toxic liver enzyme levels with the study participants. Quote, "This unexpected positive finding makes our data even more compelling and provides significant data to consider." This by the chief clinical investigator, Keith Aqua, who's a medical doctor. Now, typical pharmaceutical use increases these toxic liver enzymes. Just to name them real quickly, those in the medical community are very familiar with these, and these will appear on your complete blood count tests. ALT is the first one. I think the next screen might take us to a couple more. Let's see, ALP, AST, and increase in bilirubin levels. These are all characteristic of pharmaceutical medication and being elevated by the taking of these medications. It's just, toxins to the body that the body has to deal with. Again, the Valid Care study showed an average decrease of 9% in these toxic liver enzymes in this almost 900 patient study using botanical CBD. Of course, typical pharmaceutical usage results in an increase of about 11%. So CBD itself in its botanical form is tremendously detoxifying for the liver. And this gets you off to a great start in your overall detox program. Now, CBD also shows promise for managing components of metabolic syndrome, and particularly in preclinical animal studies with effects observed on glucose and lipid metabolism, inflammation, and appetite regulation. The American Diabetes Associations that would state that CBD is not yet an approved treatment for metabolic disorders. Nonetheless, there is a U.S. government patent on treating or preventing diabetes with cannabidiol. And we have a link to this here. Certainly in many animal studies, CBD has demonstrated several potential effects that would target underlying factors of metabolic syndrome, including improved insulin sensitivity and improved glucose metabolism, weight, and appetite regulation. So unlike THC, CBD may reduce food intake, suppress appetite in many contexts. Next slide, please. So the U.S. government patent This is the patent 6630507. Cannabinoids as antioxidants and neuroprotectants certainly shows CBD as a very strong anti-inflammatory compound. Certainly reduced inflammation in the body. Metabolic syndrome is associated with low-grade inflammation, and CBD has notable anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties that can help mitigate this, potentially protecting various organs like the liver and heart from damage. Research would indicate that CBD in its acid form, cannabidiolic acid, acts as a selective, what's called a COX-2 inhibitor, cyclooxygenase 2, meaning it reduces inflammation by targeting the enzyme COX-2, similar to most anti-inflammatory drugs. But here, since you're using a natural product, you don't get all the unwanted side effects. So the dual action of CBDA shows that both inhibiting the COX-2 enzyme as well as downgrading its genetic expression. So this further reduces inflammation within the body. And certainly while CBD also affects the COX enzymes, CBDA, cannabidiolic acid, is noted for its strong specific COX-2 inhibitory profile, differentiating its mechanism from the decarboxylated form of CBD. And the next slide, please. So CBD will lower inflammatory markers, reducing metabolic syndrome and the associated symptoms. Heart and cardiovascular issues, many physicians will rely on a blood test that looks at what's called C-reactive protein levels. Certainly we've seen in many of our patients having seen significant reductions in C-reactive protein levels by taking CBD, and also reduces inflammatory cytokines, things such as interleukin-6, interleukin-1B, et cetera. And there's a whole other list of benefits there. In terms of rheumatoid arthritis, this is an autoimmune disorder rather than necessarily a metabolic syndrome, but very closely related. And certainly in rheumatoid arthritis, we've seen a tremendous decrease in these what are called ESR scores. These are, again, blood tests that are done, and particularly when people are on CBD and they have rheumatoid arthritis, you'll see these erythrocyte sedimentation rate, or ESR scores, come down very significantly, and particularly in diabetes. CBD has been shown anecdotally to lower A1C as well as the HbA1c, hemoglobin A1c scores, as again measured by blood test and blood draws. So CBD will decrease inflammation. CBD will improve insulin sensitivity, as well as CBD also has a protective effect on the beta cells of the pancreas, and here they generate insulin. So certainly great benefits here. Now, just as an illustration, we can take a look at what might be considered a blood profile, if you will, which a finger prick, blood on a slide put under what's called a dark field microscope. And you can see evidence on the left side here of clumped red blood cells. This is what's called a rouleau formation. And on the right side, we see more healthy red blood cells, which then will have a normal electrical charge. It'll be a repelling charge. So the blood cells won't necessarily clump together when they're healthy because of this electrical charge. Now we can get into the verbiage here of this a little bit more in depth. So rouleau is this stack of coins clumping of the red blood cells as seen on blood smears, again caused by plasma proteins, things such as fibrinogen, neutralizing the red blood cells' normal electrical, which would be a negative charge, electrical repelling charge, making them clump and stick together. So here the red blood cells have lost their normal electrical repelling charge, again, reducing surface area and making these clump red blood cells far less able to absorb oxygen from the respiration process, which is partly an electrical attraction. Lower levels of the oxygen circulating within the blood can lead to many adverse health consequences, and you can see a good list of them here. Perhaps we can go to our next slide, please. So again, additional benefits of CBD for metabolic syndrome. Obviously, we've seen the visual thing with the dark field analysis blood samples, but of course, improved insulin sensitivity and glucose metabolism. Studies indicate that CBD can enhance insulin sensitivity and glucose utilization, helping lower fasting blood sugar levels and protect pancreas or pancreatic cells from damage. weight and appetite regulation. Certainly CBD is quite beneficial here, improved lipid profile, liver protection as well. As we have seen, we also may show CBD has been shown to have great benefit for what's called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, as known in the medical community. Certainly, these benefits have shown a great application for many individuals who are taking our products. Next slide, please, Jordan. Thank you. So metabolic syndrome and CBD, there has been some research, and it's been documented that CB1 and CB2 endocannabinoid receptors are located on subcutaneous and visceral adipose tissue. So these visceral fat tissues seem to be very promising targets for cannabidiol intervention. And one of these studies was conducted on rats. They were subject to repeated what are called intraperitoneal injections of CBD in various doses. Both doses caused a reduction in body weight in these rodents, which was more strongly expressed at a higher dose. So certainly cannabidiol here, CBD, is a receptor modulator, an endocannabinoid receptor modulator, impacts the endocannabinoid system's actions, regulates food intake, energy homeostasis, and results in body weight changes and certainly weight reduction for many individuals. Next slide, please. Here is just a picture description of the mechanism of action of CBD and the potential treatment of obesity and related metabolic syndrome. Another study here shows, again, promise for obesity and metabolic syndrome. The evidence here points to CBD's ability to curb overeating, improve metabolic health, and reduce inflammation. More well-controlled human studies are certainly essential, but much of this has already been proven out. Now, in a recent review, particularly in the British Journal of Pharmacology, a publication, and researchers discussed the potential role of cannabidiol, a non-intoxicating compound derived from cannabis sativa, in regulating obesity, metabolic syndrome, metabolism, etc. Certainly, CBD will act through the endocannabinoid system, and CBD will have various effects on this impaired glucose, lipid metabolism, insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, etc. I believe the next slide might show the conclusion of the study. And here, overall, CBD shows promise for reducing food intake, improving glucose and lipid metabolism, and exerting anti-inflammatory as well as neuroprotective effects in preclinical studies. So CBD's broad molecular activity, very favorable safety profile make it an intriguing candidate for managing obesity and related metabolic disorders. Next slide, please. Another interesting effect here regards abnormal cell communication and genetic mutation, again, affecting the overall balance within the body. So abnormal cell signals can cause genetic mutations, typically acting as a key driver in cancer development. So when cell communication or this intercellular communication starts to break down, abnormal signals can force cells to divide uncontrollably or to fail to repair any DNA damage. This leads to the accumulation of new mutations. These acquired mutations can activate oncogenes or deactivate tumor suppressor genes. There are various mechanisms of action at play here. Certainly, we look at some of them here on the slide. We can maybe go to the next one, please. And the consequences of this abnormal cell signaling, abnormal cell communication. And this occurs when the communication pathways responsible for regulating cell growth, survival, differentiation are all blocked, overactivated, or destroyed. This leads to severe consequences, including uncontrolled cell proliferation, as what happens in cancer, neurodegenerative diseases, which happens with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, chronic inflammation, and metabolic disorders due to improper cell responses. There are acquired mutations, tumor development, other mutations certainly available here. But again, the interesting thing is that protein misfolding is involved with this. So this means that protein does not develop or unfold into its correct shape when this cell signaling is abnormal. So the correct shape it needs to work properly would be one that we would normally expect. But unfortunately, when this cell communication is abnormal, we see these negative consequences. One cause of this problem is a gene defect. When gene has a mutation, it produces a protein that's built incorrectly. This protein will unfold the wrong way. Misfolding can happen due to aging, stress, or damage inside the cell. Next slide, please. Protein misfolding is linked to many diseases. Again, we've mentioned Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Huntington's disease, etc. Basically, in simple terms, protein misfolding, often caused by gene defects, starts as a tiny cellular communication mistake, but can lead to serious health problems throughout the body. Next slide. And cannabinoids, particularly CBD, exhibit and improve what is called retrograde cell signaling. So there's a biofeedback correction that can correct many of these cell communication errors. So retrograde signaling is a specialized form of communication in the nervous system where a signal travels backwards across the synapse from the postsynaptic receiving neuron to the presynaptic sender. And this modulates neurotransmitter release. So endocannabinoids transmits in this backward or the retrograde manner. So here the endocannabinoid system actually starts to monitor cell communication across the cell membrane, abnormal cell signals, which can cause genetic mutation. However, CBD and endocannabinoids will monitor and correct this abnormal cell communication. Next slide, please. So retrograde signaling assists the endocannabinoid system functioning and leads to homeostasis. So these endocannabinoids can provide or can promote neurological activity by one of two ways. They can first suppress synaptic activity involving GABA, which is a major inhibitory neurotransmitter, the process technically known as disinhibition. But overactive and excessive neurological function can also become toxic, known as excitotoxicity. And by inhibiting this over excessive physiological activity, reduction of the neurotransmitter glutamate can occur. So here, CBD and the endocannabinoids act as two-way operators, either promoting or suppressing neurological activity within our bodies, and this creates the overall balance within what we call homeostasis. So the endocannabinoids, again, is two-way signaling, will regulate homeostasis. Basically, homeostasis, the body's ability to maintain itself in its environment, certainly is deeply connected to the endocannabinoid system. Picture graphic here for those of you who might like to look at and review that. Next slide, please. And this interesting retrograde signaling had been originally thought to occur only during embryonic development, but certainly now it's been proven. Prior to 2001, this retrograde signaling was understood only to occur, again, during embryonic development of the brain and central nervous system. However, researchers have learned that endocannabinoids regulate embryonic as well as adult neurogenesis, which means the creation of new neurons in the brain, new nerve and neural pathways, certainly, as well as stem cell migration of this unique form of communication. And this concept of neurogenesis, the creation of these new neurological cells, certainly confers significant anti-aging benefits. Now, getting into part two, we want to look at CBD and oxidative stress. CBD, of course, acts as a potent antioxidant, reduces oxidative stress, the cellular damage caused by free radicals within the human body, by modulating what's called redox balance, enhancing mitochondrial functioning, and activating these protective pathways, such as the NRF2 pathway. It's effective in treating inflammation-related conditions, things such as neurodegenerative diseases, cardiovascular issues, as well as metabolic disorders. The key aspects of CBD and oxidative stress, well, the mechanism of action, CBD reduces reactive oxidative species, the reactive oxygen species, ROS, lowers the nitrotyrosine formation, and certainly these are markers of oxidative stress. Also, in terms of the mitochondria, we show tremendous protection, how CBD protects mitochondria, the cell's powerhouses, from damage, improving energy metabolism and reducing oxidative stress. The NRF2 pathway is the primary cellular defense mechanism against oxidative stress, inflammation, and toxic damage. Certainly, it's got great significance as the NRF2 pathway is a crucial therapeutic target in neurodegenerative diseases, cancer prevention, as well as inflammatory diseases. Next slide, please. Neuroprotective effects and studies, CBD protected neurons against damage induced by oxidative stress, anti-inflammatory role, certainly by reducing this level of oxidative stress in the body. CBD helps to mitigate diseases like inflammatory bowel disease and liver injury. Certainly, there's great application for future research, particularly metabolic and heart health in terms of brain injury, as well as chronic diseases, particularly in terms of brain injury. CBD and research here suggests lipid peroxidation prevents antioxidant depletion in brain injury scenarios such as neonatal hypoxia, etc. Next slide, please. So efficient metabolism leads to minimal oxidative stress within the human body. And let's talk about this very briefly. So the oxidative phosphorylation and the biology, the Krebs cycle, we might have all seen that, or the citric acid cycle in high school biology. So aerobic respiration is the highly efficient metabolic process in which cells use oxygen to break down glucose, yielding carbon dioxide, water, and a large amount of ATP energy. This occurs continuously in the mitochondria, serving as the human's primary energy source. So oxidation reduction is the final crucial step in this, where the electron transport chain will then allow for tremendous what's called a power gradient, again, powering ATP synthase. This is a ATP enzyme to generate large amounts of ATP. So for every one glucose molecule, about 30 to 36 ATP molecules result as a consequence. So this process, oxidative phosphorylation, certainly is the hallmark of efficient metabolism within the human body, particularly at the cell level. Now, next slide, please. Here it's somewhat illustrated. Basically, the cytochrome oxidase enzyme powers the reaction, leaving a very clean residue. The process creates this protein gradient, drives ATP synthase to produce the majority of cellular ATP, again, yielding between 30 to 36 AT molecules from each glucose molecule. Now, the next slide will show about the inefficient metabolism that leads to significant oxidative stress in the human body. This was first discovered by Dr. Otto Warburg, whose famous work on cancer metabolism, which is now known as the Warburg effect, detailed how inefficient cellular metabolism, which is a fermentation process, can create cancer cells. So these cancer cells use fermentation, or what's called anaerobic glycolysis. So they don't use oxygen. This anaerobic glycolysis will generate ATP energy from glucose, producing large amounts of toxins and lactic acid, even when oxygen is present. So this research and other research led him, this Dr. Warburg, to be nominated for the Nobel Prize 47 different times. So the impact of low oxygen in cell respiration, basically in the absence of oxygen, this electron transport chain stops. So you don't have oxygen at the cell level, the electron transport chain stops. Cells must then rely on their plan B, which is an inefficient anaerobic fermentation process that yields only 2 ATP molecules per glucose molecule. And certainly this has great, we can show relevance for individuals, and certainly those of us who are in this inefficient metabolism are at much, much greater risk of developing chronic conditions, disease, etc., than those who have the very efficient metabolism we previously described. Certainly, Dr. Warburg here basically shows how the body is severely challenged into a massive cleanup of these reactive oxygen species that happens with this inefficient form of metabolism. The excessive reactive oxygen species causing oxidative stress, which damages DNA, damages protein, damages lipids, all contributing to overall systemic imbalance, rapid aging, and many diseases. Next slide, please. So let's go back to this picture here we showed earlier. So the anaerobic glycolysis is very, very likely with this clumping of the red blood cells, low cellular oxygen levels, low ATP being generated, high levels of residual toxins. On the right side, we see aerobic glycolysis, very, very likely here, high cellular oxygen levels, high ATP generation, and low levels of residual toxins. So illness and fatigue represents a systemic breakdown created through low, deficient, and impaired cellular energy production, aka anaerobic glycolysis. By strengthening cellular metabolic activities, this will promote aerobic glycolysis and oxidative phosphorylation. This can be achieved through CBD, through detoxification, nutrition, and other healthful practices. CBD is very electric, again, will help restore the electrical repelling charges, allowing more of the oxygen to be absorbed by the cells of the body. Improving metabolic health certainly has great benefit. So CBD, of course, assists in reducing oxidative stress, acts as a potent antioxidant. Certainly we see great mechanisms of action. CBD reduces reactive oxygen species, mitochondrial production, and protection here, certainly great effect levels with these mechanisms of action. Next slide, please. Getting into part 3, the human body in homeostasis. Things function optimally within us without external reliance. When the body is in a state of homeostasis, the production of things such as stem cells occur, particularly in the bone marrow for tissue repair from daily activities and exercise. In homeostasis, a stable, balanced state, endogenous adult stem cells are continuously active, acting as a maintenance system. They proliferate, differentiate to replenish tissue, replacing cells lost to natural turnover in organs like skin, intestine, blood. Certainly here, stem cells work constantly during homeostasis. Their activation increases here, particularly during tissue stress, injury, or infection. Next slide, please. So stem cells and CBD will promote actually what's called hippocampal neurogenesis through PPAR gamma involvement. This research from Stanford University basically shows how CBD will penetrate into the interior of the cell, being transported in by these fatty acid binding proteins. And here, CBD will interact with the nucleus, the brain, if you will, of the cell, and particularly at a receptor site known as PPAR gamma. This again located on the nucleus. That's the command center, and CBD certainly will have this effect to produce new healthy brain cells, new nerve and neurological pathways. Certainly this offers great anti-aging benefits for many individuals. Next slide, please. In homeostasis, the body will also produce a glutathione. This is the most abundant antioxidant found in the heart. So in this state of homeostasis, again, the stable internal environment will certainly allow for the production of peptides, and particularly glutathione, to maintain the redox balance within us. Redox, the homeostasis, is again the dynamic balance between oxidizing and reducing agents within the cells, crucial for maintaining a healthy physiological and steady state. There's certainly many aspects here, again, just balancing the homeostasis within the body. This balance is essential for preventing cellular damage and diseases, including neurodegenerative disorders, cancer, diabetes, etc. Next slide, please. And the consequences of redox imbalance. We have oxidative distress, where too many oxidants can cause DNA damage, protein dysfunction, apoptosis, cell death, of course, reductive distress as well. So the other side of the coin, an excess of reducing agents can impair cell signaling and communication. So maintaining this golden balance by redox homeostasis is vital for proper cell functioning. Certainly disruption here leads to disease and aging. Next slide, please. Glutathione, again, the most abundant antioxidant in the heart and cardiovascular system. This plays an important etiological initiating role in the development of numerous diseases such as cardiometabolic disease and cardiovascular disease. So reduced glutathione levels are commonly observed in patients with heart failure and advanced cardiac conditions. To avoid these negative consequences, the body's redox homeostasis has to be preserved. Certainly, we're very excited about CBD being able to balance out the oxidative stress along with the reductive stress as well. Next slide, please. Glutathione is technically a tripeptide composed of glutamate, cysteine, and glycine. It's present in high concentrations in most cells, especially in the cardiovascular system. Glutathione acts as a crucial antioxidant, again, protecting cells, particularly heart cells, against oxidative stress. In homeostasis, this healthy, rested state, cells maintain a high glutathione to oxidative glutathione ratio, typically greater than 100, indicating a highly reduced, very stable environment within the human body. Next slide, please. And also in homeostasis, there's great benefit for peptides. So the body produces what are called peptide hormones, things such as insulin, glucagon, and endorphins to regulate processes like blood glucose, metabolism, and satiety to regulate and balance homeostasis. So peptides are short chains of amino acids. They're linked by covalent bonds and act as signaling molecules. Smaller than proteins by 50% or greater, these peptides will play vital roles in regulating metabolic processes, immunity, and tissue repair. So the popular GLP-1 now, which is, of course, very popular among individuals today. Many are taking GLP-1 injections, et cetera, for weight control. But GLP-1 is a peptide, so technically called a glucagon-like peptide 1. This peptide hormone, specifically a 30 or 31 chain amino acid, produced in the intestinal L cells in the brain. So this is naturally produced within the body. GLP-1 plays a crucial role in blood sugar regulation, appetite suppression, and digestion by stimulating insulin release and slowing gastric emptying. There are also what are called regenerative peptides, such as what's called the MOTS-C peptide, which is derived from mitochondria. They're produced to manage energy metabolism, control stress, and maintain homeostasis. So these regenerative peptides act as biological messengers to stimulate tissue repair, reduce inflammation, and enhance cellular rejuvenation. Certainly, the regulation and secretion of these peptide hormones are very tightly regulated. Next slide, please. Now, the body in homeostasis, the GLP-1 peptide is naturally produced, and this is done through a process known as butyrate, which is a short-chain fatty acid that's produced in your gut when beneficial bacteria ferment dietary fiber that your body cannot digest on its own. The primary energy source for colonocytes, the cells lining your colon, butyrate, provides up to 70% of your energy needs. So the gut bacteria ferment fiber into butyrate, which triggers the L cells of the intestinal lining to release GLP-1, the same hormone targeted by all these weight loss drugs. But when your gut produces enough butyrate, natural GLP-1 secretion works properly, supporting appetite control, insulin sensitivity, and weight regulation. Butyrate will also cross the blood-brain barrier to reduce neuroinflammation, increases what's called brain-derived neurotropic factor. Certainly, this is a growth factor, improves the GABA and dopamine transmitter signaling, all of which help reduce anxiety, stabilize mood, and protect cognition. Anxiety affects about 40 million Americans who then seek pharmaceutical medications to assist their condition. So butyrate and GLP-1 are the natural design supporting homeostasis. So importantly, you don't need a synthetic GLP-1 agonist to access these amazing benefits. You just need butyrate naturally produced in the gut from efficient digestion, fermentation of fiber. And this is how the human metabolism was designed to work, not with synthetic shots, but with internal balance. This design basically evolved to work in harmony with ancestral diets, and which were rich in whole foods, fiber, and unprocessed carbohydrates. Disruption of this design breaks the microbial fuel line, not the hormonal hardware, if you will. Next slide, please. So in summary, we're looking at during homeostasis, the body naturally produces stem cells for tissue repair, neurological benefits, glutathione to manage redox stability, as well as maintain heart and cardiovascular health, as well as peptides to manage cell signaling, internal communication, physiological, and metabolic balances. Despite the physiological and their biological significance and established therapeutic potential, there remains a significant knowledge gap in our understanding of peptides, their processing, and post-translational modifications. Thus, peptides are a new part of medicine, a new part of health and wellness, but hold certainly great promise for the future of humanity and the quality of life benefits. Now, evaluating homeostasis, well, of course, there are no meters on us, no markers, if you will, to measure our level of homeostasis within us. The medical society will measure overall a very inclusive blood test, we call a complete blood count, to show. Here again, many inflammatory markers can be determined through analysis of the blood, C-reactive protein, tumor necrosis factor alpha, interleukin levels, A1C, a measure for diabetes. Other blood tests and markers will look at liver toxicity, toxic liver enzymes, including bilirubin. But the overall key to metabolic health is basically blood sugar balance, and this is measured by HbA1c levels. And here's where CBD really shines. So moving to homeostasis can be accomplished by taking botanical CBD. Certainly other healthful practices will help you to get that level, but certainly once you're in that level of homeostasis, there are many physiological benefits to be derived: stem cell activation, balancing glutathione levels, and activating peptide production. Well, it's certainly been great to be with everybody. I've had wonderful travels this year already to Taiwan, Japan. I've had a recent webinar with Kannaway Europe and discussions of a recent EU Kannaway sleep study. Today with the Kannaway USA team, it's certainly fabulous. So let me move one slide forward. Perhaps I can turn this over to Melissa Temple-Augusta, who's a great friend and certainly a wonderful colleague. She's got some great words of wisdom to share with everybody. So again, thank you so very much, and I wish you the best with your efforts with the Kannaway Detox Challenge.
Thank you so much, Dr. Titus. What a great wealth of information. And at the end of the day, detoxing and supporting our body with CBD is the key to homeostasis. So thank you so much. And I have the great honor of introducing Melissa Temple-Augusta. She is our hemp and cannabinoid expert, trainer extraordinaire. And Melissa, take it away as we introduce our new protocol.
Thank you so much, Valerie. I am in wow right now from all of the amazing information from Dr. Titus. Thank you so much. And I think we all, even if we don't understand all of the science, I was taking a ton of screenshots. What we know is the science backs what we're doing here. And that's what I want to run through with you, because what does this all mean now? What is the K-DTX369 program? And how does all of this science come to fruition into a program that becomes something that's so essential to overcome these challenges we're all dealing with? This is a daily transformation program in just 30, 60, or 90 days. The goal is first, reset the body, because nothing else will work until you reset the body. It is key to maximizing the benefits of any program you're about to start, including a cannabidiol program, any wellness program, you have to detox first to reset the body. And we heard some things from Dr. Titus about the power of regular detoxification leading to all of the overall health and well-being points that he made. So let's break this down. Let's go to the next slide. So we start with the K-DTX3 program. Some of you are familiar with this. Some of you have been on this protocol. And it is amazing because this is what starts everything. This is the foundation that you lay when you first start any program at Kannaway or elsewhere for that matter. You can take your phone and take your camera and get that QR code in the center, which will lead you to more information on K-DTX3. So this is the first 30 days, and it is about resetting, reducing the accumulated metabolic stress and supporting the detoxification pathways. So then what comes next? Let's go to the next slide. So now we have a lifestyle. Now we have a program that is going to transform our lifestyle, reset the body, restore balance, revitalize our life. And this is not one of those one size fits all cleanses or detoxes. Have you done them before? Some of us are hanging out at home the whole time, just in case. This is not that. So if you have not done this yet, do not worry. This is such an easy way to integrate this into your life. And the key here is that this is a daily transformation program that begins with the first 30 days reset. And then we'll look at this in a second. The other 30 days, the next 30 days, and the next 30 days are crucial because detox becomes a core element throughout the whole time and ongoing. And we're going to add flexibility for targeted support because we all have different needs. Some of us are here to lose weight. Some of us are trying to rid our body of toxins and other harmful things that are in our bodies and just find overall wellness. So how can the K-DTX369 program support the body? There are 12 ways. There are 6 on this screen. Body balance, reduced inflammation, liver support. I loved what Dr. Titus said about that. Better sleep, stress regulation, digestive support, antioxidant protection, immune balance, metabolic wellness, recovery support, mental clarity, and brain health. Woo, that's a lot of benefits. And I think that we could all take advantage of those for sure. So this is a great chart to take a screenshot of. It's like a checklist. So when you're explaining this program to someone else or when you're trying to digest what this involves, this really spells it out. So the first 30 days in column 1 in blue is the reset. That's the K-DTX3 program that consists of premium hemp oil, the herbal detox soak, the nutritionals, and anti-aging. Then you can add the targeted support products listed below depending on what your goals are. If you're trying to improve your sleep, your mood, your skin, if you're trying to lose weight, or if you're trying to deal with topical inflammation. And then we move on. After you're done with your K-DTX3, you get into the restore stage, okay, for the next 30 days. The core elements are the non-negotiables, the things that you have to have, at bare minimum to keep going with this homeostasis and the detoxification benefits that you're receiving. And those are premium hemp oil and the herbal detox soak. And then you add the targeted support that you need to personalize this. The next 30 days are the Revitalize stage, and the core elements remain the same. Those are steadfast. No matter what happens, you're always incorporating your CBD and your detox soak. Some people will be doing the detox soak weekly. Some will be doing it monthly. It really depends on your individual needs. And you know that you can get those in 2-packs or 4-packs, whatever your needs are, and add your targeted support. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So all in all, with this program, all of the products that are part of the K-DTX369 and the K-DTX3, they're all from organically grown hemp. They're all using advanced extraction methods. They're all using regenerative farming practices. They are all triple lab tested, and all of the COAs or certificates of analysis are on the Kannaway website. We never use herbicides or pesticides, and they are non-GMO. And look at all of the certifications below. We are in the PDR, the Physician's Digital Reference, or Physician's Desk Reference of old, in that big book that was in your doctor's office. We're the only CBD in there with our pure gold liquid, and Banned Substances Control Group certified, US Hemp Authority certified, etc. To wrap this up, I want to draw your attention to this final QR code, because you may be having questions about the products if you're not familiar with Kannaway. This QR code will lead you to all of the information that you need. And please reach out to us. Please reach out to your sponsor, your upline, fellow Kannaway people that you're in our group on Facebook or other social media, and we can help you learn more about it, because the future of hemp and wellness is all here. It's all here. So thank you so much for having me today, and good luck on your journey.
Thank you so much, Melissa. That was awesome. I don't know about you guys. I am super excited about having an exact blueprint, if you will, over the next 30, 60, 90 days. And wow is all I can say. Thank you for bringing that to all of us, Melissa. More to come. There's great information on our blog post and everything else. But right now, I'd like to introduce Jeff and Debbie Lassard. Honestly, it was kind of their kind of suggestion that we move toward a program such as this to help people detoxify and then ongoing better health and well-being. So they're going to share what's behind the K-DTX369, and we have a few special guests that I know you're going to be excited to hear about. So Jeff and Debbie, over to you.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can, sir.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. And man, it just gets better and better, from Dr. T to Melissa delivering the how-to. And now we'll share with you what this means. This is Kannaway's daily transformation, and you're the X factor. You see, because we're all different. So in incorporating these products into your daily life, what we want to do is we want to get to what Nikola Tesla said. He said, if you want to understand the keys of the universe, understand the frequencies 369. We're all electrical beings. These products have electrical properties. By implementing them into our daily use and becoming the best version of ourselves, we can achieve that 369 through the 30, 60, 90 day challenge, and then putting ourselves into homeostasis. And then occasionally, like your car, it needs an oil change. So, you know, the numbers 369 represent the complete cycle of creation, alignment, and releasing. And that's what we're doing. We're releasing the old and bringing in the new. And with that being said, let's really see what this program's about. And let's talk about, instead of testimonials, we're now calling them X-monials, because the X obviously is the X factor in each one of these. So first, let's bring on who's becoming a social media superstar with her absolutely amazing before and after 30-day pictures. Cindy Taylor, are you available? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
I'm here. How are you?
We are amazing. And we are just, if you guys have not seen her before and after pictures, run over to my Facebook and take a look at her amazing 30-day transformation. So Cindy, go ahead and share with us.
So I'm a little nervous, but the whole thing started because I'm about to be 60, and I had in December, and I had kind of become resigned to this was it. I was embarrassed of how I looked, but to look better, before I used to go to the gym like 6 days a week. I'd work out 1 to 2 hours a day, and it's not in the cards at this phase of my life. So I was like, well, I guess this is it. Like, I didn't want to go places with my husband for work because I was embarrassed. I'm 10 years older than him anyway. So it didn't help that I looked probably 30 years older than him. So when I've always loved the Kannaway products and the CBD for us and for our dogs, we've had amazing results. But when I saw that the detox was coming out, I saw what it did, and I'm like, I don't know, but I trust their products and the people, so I'm going to try it. And Joe and I, my husband and I, both did it, and we got good results doing the detox. And we were like, okay, I understand the why. It's like cleaning up your system. We're all like gluggy and, just it's like a car that needs a tune up. So we did it and we were like, okay, this is going really well. We're going to keep doing it. And then we added the Cannatrim. Now, that is kind of crazy because I can actually go to a party and not eat pizza and not feel deprived. Like when you guys say it quiets food noise, it's like not a joke. It doesn't make you feel not hungry, like you're full, like full, like in an icky way. You just literally are good. You're like, I'm good. I can make good choices. Joe is loving it. I'm loving it. That it has been like a game changer. We even went to a party with a lot of pizza, and I literally I didn't feel deprived. I didn't feel, normally when like I would look for a reason to quit this because I'd be like, this feels like being deprived, and it doesn't. So Joe came home the one day and he's like, I really feel good. He's like, my mental clarity is better. He's like, I'm more motivated. And I've noticed around the farm, he's not in here. He doesn't see, like when he's not working, he's not always like, super motivated around the farm. But now he's like doing stuff again. He looks good. We've both lost inches. We've both lost pounds. I can fit into clothes I didn't fit into before. So that's like a huge thing. So for me, I feel like the detox was like the catalyst to, starting everything. So like I said, we have no doubt we're continuing. So this is 30 days. And my before and after, it is frightening. I mean, it's embarrassing to put it out there, but if you don't put it out there, people can't see what this can do. So that's why I let it go out there, because it's embarrassing. But anyway, I'm thrilled.
So real quickly, can I share people the before and after?
Yes, go ahead. Oh,
Guys,
oh, it
look at
hurts.
that. No, you're absolutely stunningly beautiful, Cindy. And you know what?
Oh,
What a
Look at what this
transformation.
is doing for you and the example you're setting for humanity. This is absolutely 30 days. That is, you should be so proud of
Yeah,
yourself. And
you're
Joe,
kicking
and
butt.
we are so excited for you.
well, and it's not hard. That's the thing. We're not doing anything crazy. We're just doing our thing. That's what's amazing. Like you don't have to do ridiculous things. Like you just go along your life, and it's amazing. I am so grateful to have found this. So
Well,
thank you guys.
we're so grateful for you, and we cannot wait to see the 60 and then the 90-day transformation. And by the way, I'm sure Val's going to talk about this. You were setting yourself up to be a part of that $10,000 challenge. I mean, there's first through 10th place, and you are putting yourself on the map big time.
Can't say that that's not motivating. I am a little bit competitive, so I do love that.
Well,
But
thank
thank
you
you.
you're very welcome, and thank you for joining us. And we're excited for you guys. So our next ex-monial will be a gentleman out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and his name is Jeffrey Kopis. Mr. Kopis, are you there? Well, he was there.
Yeah.
There you go. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, buddy, the floor is yours. And before you go, let me just say this. Guys, this guy is an amazing singer. The other day he sent us a song, which I can't release or share with anybody because it hasn't even been released yet. But this gentleman has the most beautiful, amazing voice and most kind heart you've ever met. And so, Jeff Kopis, share with them what's happened with you on this amazing journey so far.
So far, I started back in September of last year. I was 318 pounds, very overweight, very unhealthy, and not very happy with my life. I found Kannaway again because I was with Kannaway before, and we got away from it, which I'm regretting, but I'm glad I'm back. And since September until yesterday, I have gone from 318 pounds. I am now 260. Still going. My goal is 225. So, but I've gone through 3 detoxes. I've done the full 90 days, and I believe everybody is going to be different with the way they do this because everybody's body is going to be different. Mine, I'll be turning 64 in May, and I'd never done a detox before. So my body had 64 years of building this stuff up in my body and my system. So I look at it like Kannaway's going in, and they're like the road crew with a big drill, and they're busting up this concrete inside. And that first 30 days did wonders. It helped, and it broke some stuff loose. But I continued on with the 60 and the 90, and now the stuff is being flushed out of my body, and I'm losing the weight. I'm healthier. I got more energy. I'm getting off a lot of my medications. I'm on a high blood pressure one still, but I'm going to take it twice a week, down from 7 days a week. I'll be off of that one completely here real soon too, I hope. And it's just a whole lot better. I mean, you figure I've lost 58 pounds since I started, and it's like I was carrying my granddaughter around all the time, and now I've got that gone, and it's just easier on my body. It's just a great feeling. And anybody that's wanting to get healthy, I would recommend doing it this way versus the GLP-1s. And I say that because I did a GLP-1. I was on it for a year, and yes, I did lose some weight. But as soon as I plateaued, I quit taking it. I then, within 5 months, had gained all the weight back, along with kidney problems and liver problems. With Kannaway, I've gotten the weight back off, and actually has reversed and healed my kidney and my liver problems. So they're getting back to normal. It's lowering my cholesterol. It's lowering my blood pressure. It's doing all the stuff that it's supposed to do, or helping my body do what it's supposed to do. Correction. And so because of that, I absolutely love this product, and I recommend it to anybody and everybody because it's a great thing for you. It's what your body needs. And if man hadn't messed it up, we'd have been getting it all of our lives anyway. But in 1937, they messed up and took it off the market. And because of that, we all got sicker throughout history. And now we're trying to get it back, and it needs to be done because it's a great product and does exactly what it's supposed to do for your body.
Awesome. How are you liking the Kannatrim?
The Kannatrim is absolutely amazing. When I started that, it was on my second detox. We didn't have it with our first one. It hadn't come out yet. The second one, I started out with 2 dropperfuls, and then I've dropped down to 1 because I just wanted to see how it worked. For me personally, the 1 dropper has been enough. And I think because I did start off with the 2, that it built up enough in my body to where the 1 was enough to keep it going, is what I think is the way it worked for me. So other people may have to take 2 or 3 like it recommends. And either way, though, it takes you, and like Christy said a while ago, or Cindy said a while ago, you feel like you're not getting what you want. It's just you're just not hungry. I mean, I'll get up in the mornings and I'm like, it'll be 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I gotta have eaten today. I gotta eat something. And it's not that I'm deprived. It's just I'm not hungry. And I've lost a lot of, because I love food. My wife's from the Philippines, and I eat a lot of food. So I've learned to just dial that down to where I eat a little bit here and there. And I have changed a few things in my diet. I've added a lot of fruit. I'm an old country boy, so I was used to eating eggs, bacon, steaks, stuff for breakfast all the time. I don't do that every day anymore. I'm using a lot more fruit. I'm using avocado and eggs and stuff, and stuff. And I've changed a little bit of the diet, not dramatically, of no means, but it's worked. And the weight's coming off, and it's not coming back, and I'm loving that so far.
That is so awesome. We're so excited for you. And guys, once again, that $10,000 challenge that runs all the way through the end of the year. I know Val's going to cover it, but both of these people, and there's a lot more people that are doing this, but these guys are putting themselves in a position to be participating in that event. And Jeffrey, we couldn't be more happy for you. And, he's got some situation going on with some health in his family of people who are not doing well. And so I know it was a stretch for you to get here and to join us. And so we're grateful for you, and send our love and prayers to your family.
Thank you.
And so with that being said, let's turn this back over to our amazing host, Miss Valerie Aloisio.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Jeff Kopis. Wow. I am, just in awe, of what we've developed here and the results that people are getting. And you guys, you just only heard 2 of so many other testimonials or exmonials that you'll be hearing more of as we move on. So with that, again, huge debt of gratitude to all of you. So let's just kind of review what we have here. You have your K-DTX30. That is the foundation. That is your reset. And what we have done is made it so affordable for everyone. Thank you so much, Jordan and the corporate team, for making this package, which you'll see all the details by scanning that QR code. There, which you're getting like, I don't know, it's a $400 and some odd value for $200 and something. But here's the thing, refer 3 people to join the challenge with you to help get their bodies, reset. And yours is free. How cool is that? And just by referring some others, you can earn over $2,000 within 60 days. So a lot of information here. Remember, this is your reset. This is the foundation. And we start here and then we move on, as you learned from Melissa earlier today. So we want to make sure that you know that this is available to you. It's affordable for all, and we have special rewards that go along with it. Next slide. Now, Jeff mentioned it, and we've had this going on. We have our $10,000 challenge with our program. We want you to accept the challenge to reset, restore, revitalize. There is the QR code. We've got over $10,000 on the table. And you heard from those 2 people. They're neck and neck, first and second place so far. But this goes through the remainder of the year, everyone. You need to post. All the details are here. Post your before and after pictures. And Cindy, you look amazing. So do you, Jeff. Thank you for sharing that. But we want you to go on to our special Facebook page. It's a closed group. Post your pictures there. That's how we can see who's doing what and take part in this. There's a lot of great cash prizes, product prizes, and we're going to all come together at the end of this to celebrate all these great transformations. Next slide. Now, we have a couple of things that Jordan and the corporate team have put together for us. Now, as you know, we have a direct model where we can refer others to our company, whether they were looking for an opportunity to make some extra income or they want to just share our products. Well, we have a special promo going on where you can earn up to a 20% bonus. Next slide. For the months of April, May, and June, for all you who just love to get out there and educate and gather customers, because that's what this is all about. Changing the world by changing people one at a time. Now, we've implemented some new, what we call ranks or levels, if you will, that based on your volume, customer volume, your personal volume, your customers are your personal volume, you can earn an extra bonus on top of your earnings, your retail profits and everything else that goes on. So this is going on for the next 3 months. We're here to help you with this. Again, this is all for that customer volume. This is cumulative month over month over the next 3 months where you can earn these great extra reward dollars. Okay, so we're happy about that. Now I know you guys are waiting. And again, thank you to the corporate team. We have a special starting right now. I believe it's in the back office today and tomorrow. We have a flash sale, buy one, get one free. Now, as you will see, there's some components here that are part of your K-DTX3 challenge. So I would highly recommend that the roots and fruits, which is our combination of our ginger, turmeric, muscadine, fulvic minerals, help us with our detoxification, the muscadine oil and capsules, and our pure gold, which is listed in the PDR. Okay, you guys, now for many people, this is our broad spectrum product. There's no THC in this product. Excellent start off product. Buy one, get one free. I already have like 3 orders already waiting for once this goes live shortly for all these products. So I really hope you take advantage. Again, these next 2 days only, buy one, get one on the products that you see here. Now, for those of us that are building a business with Kannaway, we have the opportunity, what we call Get Fast Start Qualified again throughout the end of the year. Just refer 3 people to our company and have them purchase any value pack. And remember, our K-DTX3 bundle, which many of you are starting with, is included in this. So if you'd like to earn a little extra money and get Fast Start Qualified again, which means you're going to earn double commissions on every time you sell one of our value packs, all the way till the end of the year. But you've got this month to do this. We actually started it in March. We're continuing now through April. So just sell 3 value packs no matter when you joined our company, and you are going to be able to get double commissions every time you bless somebody with our great value packs. Here, we talked about establishing a supplemental income source. At Kannaway, we have multiple pathways for you to be successful and achieve whatever income objectives you would like. Whether you're moving down that retail path or B2B model, whether you're looking to build a team that spans the globe, whatever that may be for you, we have these multiple options. And as you saw with our PB program, perfect for those influencers that want to just get out there and share our products, share the K-DTX369. Go ahead and learn more by scanning that code, or just come to one of us to explain how you can earn a little extra. Now, the Wellness Conversation is our Tuesday night gathering. It's our community call, if you will, where you hear testimonials, just like what you heard today, and more. You can come together, share stories, ask questions. It's our time together every single week at 8 o'clock. That is the link for you to join us on our Wellness Conversation. It's not a presentation, it's an opportunity of us to get together and chat and share stories and successes. So everyone, we want to thank you so much for being with us. A huge shout out to Jordan Gazzardo and the corporate team for putting this on for us and giving us the best possible products. Thank you, Dr. Titus, and all our guest speakers, Jeff and Melissa. We are thrilled that you're here with us. Please follow up with the person who shared this with you, and get into that K-DTX369. I guess if you can put on your cameras or your, now's the time to do it, or certainly our panelists. We're thrilled that you're here with us. Jordan, over to you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you so much, Valerie. And a huge thanks to all our speakers for such a fantastic K-Detox 369 presentation. I think we learned so much. Dr. Titus, always, I learned so much from you, and I appreciate you every single time. But finally, and most importantly, I want to thank everyone in the audience for joining us tonight and being a part of the Kannaway journey. Have a wonderful evening, everyone, and we'll see you all very soon. Good night.
Night.